now, and it's a good thing, one, because we can show you more what we're looking at. The trees here, this one has maybe at least a half an inch, if not more, of ice, and as it has caused problems all over the weekend, it's still causing problems today. We went out just on Highway 43 near Palatine Road. The road was closed because of down power lines. We went to check it out. We're going to set up there for the morning, but the constant sound of tree branches breaking or whatever it was falling gave us second thoughts. It was pretty eerie at 4 o'clock this morning when we were there. Highway 43 is closed for about a mile heading south in that area to Military. PGE says that more than 100,000 are without power throughout Clackamas County. Heavy ice causing all sorts of problems with trees taking out the power lines. PGE says these outages could last for days.
I hate to say this, but for some customers, it could be as long as 10 days before we've got everybody back on. That's an extreme situation, but we need people to be prepared for the potential for some extended outages.
Now, the other two largest hit areas, Marion and Multnomah County, both reporting over 65,000 people without power. The governor also declaring a state of emergency, which will bring in more resources into the area. Back to you.
All right, Devin Haskins, a good parent, by the way, you are, but I got to tell Devin, as a parent, he's got to get from underneath that tree.
Absolutely.
Don't stand underneath the tree, Devin. Next story is one we're still following. We don't have a lot of information, but the early reports are absolutely not good because the Coast Guard is investigating reports that a car went off the Glen Jackson Bridge there on I-205 into the Columbia River. We know that someone did call 911 just before 6 o'clock last night. These traffic cameras were showing you, they showed crews responding to that spot last night. They searched the water, but so far nobody or no car has been found. Again, we're just getting some information on the story and we're going to bring you more as soon as we learn more. Right now, we do want to check back in with Brian Clerkley, who is keeping an eye on roads for us from Drive 8 this morning. So, Brian, start with where you are and what you've seen so far during your drive.
Good morning, Drew. I'm here in northeast Portland right now, and we've been all over the area this morning. Slushy roads, slick roads, and just bad road conditions. But I'm going to turn the camera around so everyone can see. So we're on 53rd and Sacramento in northeast, and this street is closed. You can see that there's a tree that has fallen and it's now in the middle of the road, and there's a down power line. So we're just going to be really careful. Obviously, we're not going to go down this street. We're just going to back up a little bit, but you can just see the damage on the street. Now the trees are actually covered in ice right here, so you can just see those ice layers, and you can see the road really hasn't been plowed. This is one of those side streets that we've been talking about. We're right off Sandy Boulevard, so Sandy was all right. You can drive on Sandy all right. It was plowed, but this side street is just terrible. You can barely get through it without swaying back and forth. But throughout the morning, we have seen just cars that were pulled over on the side of the road because they couldn't get through that thick slush. And we saw on I-84 going east, those ramps are closed around the Lloyd district because a tree is in the road. So you just have to be really careful if you're going out this morning. And one more reminder, I-84 is back open through the gorge. It shut down on Friday but reopened yesterday, and conditions there still don't look great. So like I keep saying, everyone just needs to drive slowly. It's really, really slick out, and your car is going to sway back and forth. So everyone just be really careful out on the roads this morning, and we will keep following everything. We'll be out here all morning. Back to you guys.
Absolutely, Brian. I'll do you one better here. Don't go out. I've got studless snow tires, and it is like an ice rink. Seriously, like an ice rink on those side streets. You just cannot keep any
so
traction.
many textures to go through.
Yeah.
You know, there's puddles and then the slush and then huge chunks of ice.
100%. Don't go out. So it's what, if we're counting 3 days now since the first round of snow and ice blanketed the metro area, but the plows and the salt trucks, they can't get to every single street.
Yeah, as we've seen, it's just really dangerous for drivers. Take a look at some video of people just spinning out along Holgate and 82nd. This is in southeast, or right on the border of northeast southeast. PBOT says they have more than 200 people, 57 plows, and 7 de-icers working nonstop. Right now, though, they're only focusing on major roads like Burnside or Southwest Multnomah Boulevard in the Multnomah Village area.
Our crews have been working around the clock since Wednesday night. They continue to. We've got more than 100 people on day shift.
The city has this interactive website where you can actually follow where crews are working, maybe see when they're coming to your neighborhood. Just head to our website, kgw.com, for details.
You know, sometimes even the professionals get stuck. Take a look at this video. Yep, that's a plow caught in the snow on Northwest Skyline Boulevard. Right now, Skyline is shut down from West Burnside to Northwest Cornell. PBOT tells us there are also trees and power lines down, so if you can, just avoid that area altogether. And a big thank you this morning to Nicole Stavino for sending us this video.
Yeah, that's not good when you see them stuck. All right, roads still too dicey for TriMet. They have suspended service for all buses overnight and most MAX lines, but all buses, including shuttles, will run again this morning, a little later on in the morning with limited service. So crews say each bus will have chains and will have to be limited to 25 miles per hour. You can check for the latest updates on your route at trimet.org/alerts.
There's a lot to get to this morning. We're going to hop over to Clark County right now because Clark County Public Works closed Southeast 347th between Southwest Lawton Road and Southeast Jennings Road, and that's because of those bad road conditions there. This is in the Washougal area, if you're not familiar. That's a quarter-mile stretch that has been really windy the last couple of days, and those big winds have created huge snow drifts. In fact, the plows over there haven't even been able to get through. Trash service, by the way, in Vancouver, also canceled today. All residential garbage and recycling is going to get pushed back one day. So if you normally put out your cans today, make sure to do it by tomorrow morning instead. And Friday customers, a heads up for you, you can put out your trash Saturday this week, and that includes your trash from last week because waste collection in Vancouver was also canceled this past Friday.
Folks in Marion County may have trouble getting through to 911. Metcom 911 says over the last 24 hours it's received hundreds of calls and it's having trouble getting to all of them. Spotty cell service could also be to blame. They recommend texting instead of calling. The other thing they want you to know is do not call 911 or any other non-emergency line to ask about power outages. Reach out to your specific utility company to find out when the electricity may be back on.
So what is it looking like in your neighborhood right now? Eric sent us this from Hepner. He says as of 5 last night, they had gotten 11 inches of snow. And check out this video from Jory. She captured deer running around in the snow in Kelso. How beautiful. And Emily took a photo of the tree in her front yard. This is so sad to see. All these beautiful trees just weighed down by ice and snapping. She says this guy was standing up straight on Friday. So show us what it's like in your neck of the woods. You can text us a picture to 503-226-5088. Okay, and we are watching all those warnings and watches. Let's go to Rod Hill in the Weather Center for the latest.
Hey, by the way, 9.6 inches, rounded up, call it 10. That's the official snow total going back to last Thursday night that goes in the record books from what has been, Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday, 4 days of winter weather wrapping up this morning. Okay, here we go with the latest watch warning map. Mostly we're dealing with eastern Oregon, and purple winter storm warning at this point issued mainly for the heavy snow in the mountains through 4 o'clock Tuesday. A lot of you in the valley locations will be above freezing today. We still have a winter storm warning in the gorge that is set to expire at noon, which may be allowed to happen because the moisture will be letting up at that time. The ice warning for Portland pretty much is done. The Weather Service just may let it slowly expire at 6 a.m., which was their original timing. Here we go for the gorge today. You're getting freezing rain and snow right now. This afternoon, slow warming, temperatures above freezing. Tonight, holding steady above freezing, assuming we get there today. And then Tuesday, rain showers and 43. So you folks are in the last, 8 hours, 6 to 8 hours or so of bad weather. All right, for the valley, for the Rose City, slow warming after sunrise. I think we'll be at 36 degrees at noon. East wind slowly ending today, 43 a high. We continue to thaw tonight with a low above freezing at 37 and then 48 degrees tomorrow. We're still 31 in Portland, still very icy outside, and even though we start to warm up today, there's so much snow and slush, it's going to be a mess, right? Look at the different world, though, down here. Salem 47, Eugene 51. Those are current numbers. Radar shows real quick that it's really breaking up here on the west side. We're actually mainly dry right now. 43 today, 48 tomorrow. Just normal weather the rest of the week, guys.
We'll be ready when it finally warms up. Thank you, Rod. Coming up this morning on Sunrise, we will talk to PGE about when the power will be back on. Right now, more than 200,000 customers are in the dark. We will also talk a little bit of sports. In an effort to get Dame in the All-Star game, the Blazers are teaming up with some very talented musicians to rake in those votes.
It's getting too comfortable? Call the Killers, your local pest pros.
We can move forward, try to be patient with each other, patient with ourselves.
It starts with self-respect. To be able to respect someone else, you got to be able to look in the mirror and like what you see and be able to see the beauty in somebody else.
Want to save hundreds on your wireless bill? With Xfinity Mobile, you can. How about saving hundreds on the new Samsung Galaxy S21 Ultra 5G? You can do that too. All on the most reliable network? Sure thing. And with fast nationwide 5G included at no extra cost, we've got you covered. So join the carrier rated #1 in customer satisfaction. And get a new Samsung Galaxy starting at $17 a month. Learn more at XfinityMobile.com or visit your local Xfinity store today.
A reading from the Golden Oak Lending Book of Mortgage Lingo.
Cash Out Refinance, a refreshing afternoon shower. Low rates, make it rain.
We speak mortgage. See what our local loan officers can translate for you.
Ready, set, go.
Go, boy, go! Go, boy, go! Go, boy, go!
Live big in the larger-than-life SUVs from GMC. The GMC Acadia, Terrain, and all-new Yukon. Step up to GMC and get $4,000 purchase cash on most 2021 Acadia models. Plus, current eligible non-GM owners get an additional $1,000 purchase allowance. We are professional-grade GMC.
Ask anyone who has been in an accident. What comes next can be just as bad as the accident itself. Getting yourself home, calling up your insurance company, negotiating a shop to take it to, making sure the shop uses factory parts, having a friend drive an appointment with the shop, having to make another finally dropping off your car, waiting to hear back from your insurance, taking your car back out your things they didn't fix, or you can just take it to Leif's. Call me. We'll pick you up, negotiate with the insurance company on your behalf, keep you informed, and drop it off when we're done, anywhere in the Northwest.
A reading from the Golden Oak Lending Book of Mortgage Lingo.
Zipline, the fast and easy way to start your refi online and save big. Wow, that was quick.
We speak mortgage. Try our Zipline tool to see what our local loan officers can translate for you.
Welcome back on this President's Day Monday. So much ice in so many places. Yeah, the thaw is coming, but still, in Clackamas County alone, there are more than 100,000 power outages. That's a live look from our Rose City Skycam this morning. And joining me live on the phone is Elizabeth Latanner from PGE. Elizabeth, good morning. We always appreciate your time. I know you guys are super busy. Can you tell me, did that freezing rain overnight cause more problems for your crews?
Yes, this storm is historic. We've had 3 waves of snow, ice, and wind, and each time we've had power outages because of that ice accumulating on branches, impacting power lines. It's impacted our transmission lines. If you think about it as a puzzle piece, we have kind of several steps to getting many of our customers' power restored because of the kind of scope of this storm.
Okay, can you talk more and say more about the logistics of getting the power back on? You've got the down lines. No doubt you're rebuilding as well, things that have kind of blown or fallen over. Talk more about that.
Sure. So if you think about how your power is generated, your power comes from a generating plant, and what takes it to a substation is a transmission line. And we have more than 200 miles of transmission lines that need to be repaired. And then our 7 substations are out right now, and then we have more than 4,400 wires down, and those wires take the power from the substation to your home. And so if you think about it, like I said, like a puzzle, there are several kind of pieces that need to be put in place before we can fully get folks restored. And that takes time, and we recognize this is an incredibly challenging weekend with really cold conditions, and we just thank our customers for their patience right now, and we know this is frustrating.
Yeah, I almost feel a little sheepish asking you this question, but is there any way to know how much longer it's going to be before everybody gets back online?
can't say with certainty. Given the extent of the damage, it's going to take some time. And so we really thank folks for patience, and we understand their frustration.
All right, stay in touch. Good luck to you and your crews. Again, big job. Elizabeth Latanner with PGE. Thank you.
Right now, we want to get to 3 things to know about the COVID vaccine this morning. We start with number 1. The mass vaccination site at the Oregon Convention Center is back open today after weather forced it to close over the weekend. Now, it won't open until 9 o'clock this morning, so anyone who had an earlier appointment today will be rescheduled for later in the day. Number 2 this morning, around 133,000 more seniors are eligible for the vaccine in Oregon today. Anyone 75 and older can now book an appointment. Last week, the 80 and over group became eligible. Now it's 75 plus. And for number 3 this morning, we have a how to book your appointment. So another round of slots opens up in Oregon today at 9 a.m. Here's how to do it. You can book an appointment by going to covidvaccine.oregon.gov and clicking on the Let's Get Started box. At that point, you'll have to go through a chat box and answer some questions about eligibility. Your other option is to call 211 and ask to be transferred to the reservation center. And those are 3 things to know about the COVID vaccine this morning.
All right, let's talk Blazers now. Damian Lillard has received more than 2 million fan votes for the NBA All-Star Game. And the Blazers are campaigning with some talented lyricists to ensure his place in the game. So Lillard created something called 4-Bar Friday. It's a platform for rappers to showcase their skills, and he retweets them on his social media. So it only made sense the hip-hop community is teaming up with the Blazers to make a push to get Lillard in the All-Star Game. Justin Starling is one of the artists collaborating with the team for the campaign.
We got this idea. We'd like you to be a part of it. What did that mean to you?
Super honored. I was hyped. Like the Portland Trailblazers DM me. I was like, oh, let's go. And Dame's always been showing mad love. So I was happy to be able to show love back in this way and, support him.
So far, those fan votes are adding up, over 2 million and counting. And Lillard now is in line for his 6th All-Star appearance. He's even got a pretty realistic shot at becoming a starter. Good for all those fans. He's got to say thank you to them.
Yeah.
Okay, what are you watching, Rod?
Yeah, I just got off the phone with the National Weather Service. Their office sits, if you don't know, it's not at the airport anymore. It's just east of 205. And they say out there on the east side, they're in that east wind zone, right? They had a 1/2 inch to 3/4 of an inch of icing on trees and surfaces last night. So that's certainly enough to produce power outages. They said on average, probably from about downtown Portland back to the east side, amounts up to about 1/4 of an inch. And then they haven't had many reports from Beaverton, Hillsboro, but it looks like the icing on that side of town, as far as we know, was pretty slight, with temperatures 32, 33, while the East Multnomah County areas were 29, 28 in Gresham last night when all that was falling. At any rate, we have the snow, we have the ice on the ground. We're still below freezing at the airport at 31 degrees. The storm last night, we thought there'd be about 1/2 inch of moisture and that push of what was warmer air trying to come in. That produced the icing. That is now broken up. We have ice and snow in the gorge. We have snow out in the Blue Mountains and also in Pendleton. But here on the west side, the storm's done, right? We're pretty much dry. We have some rain showers over the Coast Range, and then we have a snow level close to 4,000 feet today up on Mount Hood right now, but that'll be lowering to around 3,000 feet this afternoon. 33 in Hillsboro, 31 Scappoose, 30 Gresham. East winds still gusting to more than 30 miles per hour out near the gorge. These are current numbers. Here's the warm zone. McMinnville 38, Salem 47. You guys could hit 50 today. 50. So you are melting off that bad ice storm that you had Friday night down in Marion County. Here are the temperatures according to a forecast model for later today. Above freezing out east in most spots. 43 in Portland matches my temperature. 47 to 50 expected in Salem. Once we get above freezing today, 36 at noon, 43 for high. We'll stay 39 tonight, and then just rain showers the rest of the way. Wednesday looks to be our completely dry day. If you didn't hear me say it earlier in the show, 9.6 inches is what officially will go in the record books for Portland's snowfall during this episode that started last Thursday night, guys.
Hooey! All right, Rod, thank you so much. Well, we know the pandemic has impacted schools in an unprecedented way, and it's even affecting one beloved winter tradition. Why the traditional snow day is a thing of the past, coming up.
Stay prepared for severe weather alerts. Download the KGW app now.
Kaiser Permanente offers many innovative virtual heart care options.
I'm Audrey.
And I'm Zach.
One of the reasons that we love the story so much is that personal feel.
You're able to send in a tweet, send in an email. You get to feel like you're more of a participant. It just makes it all better.
Why am I so calm right now? Because this isn't a spy thriller. This is a Nissan sales event ad. Right on cue. This Rogue has more standard safety technologies than that RAV4. It's almost too easy.
Hurry in for a low $229 per month lease on the 2021 Rogue.
Tick-tock, time's running out.
I embrace getting older. I'm so much more confident now, but I don't love that as I age, I could develop gum issues.
New Colgate Renewal reverses early gum damage for a beautiful, revitalized smile.
I can't wait to see what comes next.
Reverse early gum damage with new Colgate Renewal.
Your mission. Stand up to moderate to severe rheumatoid arthritis and take it on with Rinvoq. Rinvoq, a once daily pill, can dramatically improve symptoms. Rinvoq helps tame pain, stiffness, swelling, and for some, Rinvoq can even significantly reduce RA fatigue. That's Rinvoq relief. With RA, your overactive immune system attacks your joints. Rinvoq regulates it to help stop the attack.
Rinvoq can lower your ability to fight infections, including tuberculosis. Serious infections and blood clots, sometimes fatal, have occurred, as have certain cancers, including lymphoma, and tears in the stomach or intestines, and changes in lab results. Your doctor should monitor your blood work. Tell your doctor about any infections, and if you are or may become pregnant while taking Rinvoq.
Take on RA. Talk to your rheumatologist about Rinvoq relief. Rinvoq. Make it your mission.
If you can't afford your medicine, AbbVie may be able to help.
Take a piece of chocolate if you're the tallest. Take a piece of chocolate if you're better at eating your vegetables. Take a piece of chocolate if you love sharing.
Hey, welcome back. We want to give you a live look at Houston, Texas this morning because much of central and west Texas has just been getting hammered with snow over the last few days, kind of like us. But typically temperatures there are a bit warmer, of course, but they were dipping into the single digits over the weekend. It's not all bad, though. A few people are enjoying the snow around Dallas, having some snowball fights in Texas. They're expecting anywhere from 4 to 6 inches to fall tonight into tomorrow morning. Kind of bizarre to see it there. Well, we were warned that it could happen, but it does look like the pandemic has killed snow days for kids. Let's connect the dots.
Shutting down schools for winter weather was once a time-honored tradition, but those days appear to be over. Now when the bad weather hits, schools are simply transitioning to all virtual learning. There have been some notable exceptions, though. A few principals nationwide have declared snow days so kids could go sledding or have snowball fights. But for the most part, they're being told to fire up Zoom and get back to work. The change is not because school superintendents hate fun. Many are already struggling with a deficit of school days. Many districts got a late start this year because they were figuring out how to make all this work. Taking more days off because of bad weather could force some districts to delay the start of summer vacation. Educators are also concerned that kids have already fallen behind this year. According to studies, students are months behind, with disadvantaged kids being hurt the worst. By keeping the learning going, even virtually, educators don't risk even more disruption. Maybe one day they will learn about waking up early to watch the school closing crawl by on the TV in the history books. And that's connecting the dots.
Well, the weather may not cancel school this week, Brandon, but distance learning without power, that's going to be a real struggle. So we'll keep following that story as we move through the week. Let's get back to closures over the weekend. The Oregon Zoo was one of many places that had to close over the weekend.
A lot of viewers wanted to see the new polar bear exhibit before Nora returns in the spring. The giant habitat is actually 2 interconnected spaces, so the bears can move back and forth between them. Has a bunch of cool features, including an ice machine and saltwater pools. I think Nora will love that.
When Nora left here, we did not know if she would be coming back or if it would be a different bear. So we feel really privileged that she is coming back. She's a great animal, of course, and people have a real connection with her. And of course, we designed this exhibit partly with her in mind.
Nora will eventually get some company in her new home. Another female polar bear will join her in the fall.
Coming up in our 5:30 half hour of Sunrise, we're going to check in on the people who had to deal with this blast of winter weather over the weekend without a home, and the volunteers who made sure they had meals and some clothes.
COVID-19 variants. Stay connected. FM News 101 KXL.
Hurry in to the Hyundai Big Deal event going on now for savings that are just too big to miss.
Get 0% APR for 60 months on the Sonata, or get up to $2,500 in total savings. See your Pacific Northwest Hyundai dealer.
So you went to Ross to refresh your look for less and snag top brands for prices that have you like, oh yeah, styles that take you here, or even right there. Slip into the best bargains ever at Ross. Yes for less.
Still your best friend. And now your co-pilot. Still the workday, just the night shift. Still home sweet home, just more mobile. Still hard work, just a little easier. The Chevy Silverado, making life's journey just better.
Get a total value of $5,000 on this Silverado Crew Cab pickup. Plus, eligible GM card members can use an additional $1,000 in bonus earnings toward their purchase. Find new roads at your local Chevy dealer.
You know when you're at Ross and find just what you need to make any space your space? Yes. That's yes for less. Get the best bargains ever for every room and every budget at Ross. Yes for less.
Homeowners experiencing the frustrations of low water pressure in the shower where you can't even wash the shampoo out of your hair, or the dreadful pipe leaks. Time to replace those old corroded pipes with brand new PEX or copper pipes. Repipe specialists will repipe your home in just 1 to 2 days at half the cost of a plumber. Plus, we offer a lifetime guarantee. Call for your free in-home estimate and ask about our 0 down, 0 interest, 0 payments offer. No more leaks and great water pressure.
Hurry in to the Hyundai Big Deal event going on now for savings that are just too big to miss.
Get 0% APR for 60 months on the Tucson, or get up to $3,500 in total savings. See your Pacific Northwest Hyundai dealer.
Wake up, check your texts, Facebook alerts, then get your daily dose of energy and info with KGW's 3 Things to Know newsletter. Face your day plugged in. Go to kgw.com/email to sign up now.
This is KGW News at Sunrise.
Coming up this half hour on Sunrise, the big story this morning, still the hundreds of thousands of people throughout the region who are without power this morning. 100,000 of them we know are in Clackamas County, but again, this is something that affects a wide range of areas and counties. We're going to have more details on how long it could be before the power comes back. We're hearing it could be as long in some spots as 10 days. 10 days without power. We're also getting pictures and video from our viewers, including this one of a transformer blowing up in the distance there. This was sent in by viewer Lainey Strauss. She said this was her view from the Pearl.
Wow.
Unbelievable images over the weekend. The sound of transformers popping and trees cracking. Again, the outages, the big story this morning. We'll talk more about the efforts to fix those outages.
Yeah, we've got the power lines, we've got down trees, creating a big old headache for crews trying to keep the roads clear in Portland. Coming up this morning, we talked to PBOT about the problem spots they're focusing on right now.
And a reminder, if you're just waking up, it is President's Day, so keep an eye out for school and other closures. That's aside from the mess outside. Yeah, just the sounds that you hear of, ice cracking and tree branches falling. Let's check in with Rod for the latest on our forecast.
I need a reminder. It's Monday. I am correct. Is that right?
It is Monday.
You worked through the weekend,
Thank you very
right?
much. The old guy gets confused when he works extra hours. All right, we have rain showers mainly left over in the mountains on the west side where this storm has ended for us. Take a look. We're dry in Portland, dry through Salem. There's a low cloud deck. You might feel a little bit of mist in the air, and if so, that could be a little bit of icing still taking place. We have moisture now starting to break up in just the last 15 minutes or so out in the Columbia River Gorge, where it's still a mixture of freezing rain, sleet, and snow falling. So here we go with the fresh ice on the ground from last night. There was only light icing being reported in Beaverton and Hillsborough. You're each at 33 right now, but we have reports of over a half of an inch of ice in spots out around Gresham and the Troutdale, where temperatures are still at 30 degrees, also up into Camas, and east winds are still blowing. And then it's the warm weather world in Kaiser, Dallas, McMinnville, and Salem is at 47 degrees. Wow. All right, so for the Rose City, the moisture is pretty much done in terms of anything steady, but we'll have scattered rain showers moving forward. 36 at noon and 43 at 5 p.m. Obviously, if all the slush on the ground, it's still going to be very difficult to drive on any of the side roads. Back to you.
All right, Rod, thank you. So one of the huge stories we are tracking this morning is those power outages. There were hundreds of thousands of people waiting in the cold and dark. This is the Portland General Electric map. They have more than 250,000 people without power right now. Nearly half of those are just in Clackamas County. And turning now next to Pacific Power, they have a lot of outages in the Marion County area, and they expect most of those people to get service restored by this afternoon. But new this morning in Northeast Portland, where there's a large pocket of Pacific Power customers, there's a new widespread power outage for Pacific Power there. It's impacting about 26,000 people in the Hollywood, Lloyd Center area, and we don't know when power will be restored for them.
I'm a father of 4. I have 4 kids I have to be responsible for. If my power doesn't come back on and now I can't get out either, there's no one doing Uber right now, there's no one doing Lyft, there's no one coming out right now to help us.
Yeah, it is a real concern for a lot of people. That family not only lost power, but look at that, their carport collapsed under the weight of snow and ice, crushing both of their family cars. So just like power, they don't know when this damage will be able to be fixed.
Oh, that is brutal. Okay, on some roads you do see tree after fallen tree. Arborists are being inundated with calls right now. We talked to one of them at the Davey Tree Expert Company. He says as things thaw, they'll get those crews out today.
Just be patient with the tree crews. We are definitely trying, and we're going to work and do everything we can to get everyone back into their homes and get these problems solved with. And so we appreciate that understanding.
Governor Kate Brown declaring a state of emergency in 9 counties on Saturday. That makes extra resources available to restore power and to help with the cleanup. Those counties are Benton, Clackamas, Hood River, Lynn, Marion, Multnomah, Polk, Washington, and Yamhill.
You know, driving around the freeways this morning, a lot better than they were over the weekend. I-5, 205, and 84. But Brian Clerkley in Drive 8 this morning, I think you're seeing firsthand how side roads are still a real mess, regardless of where you live. Where are you at right now, Brian?
Yeah. Good morning, Drew. I'm here on Northeast 102nd Avenue, and yes, the side roads are very dangerous, so I'm just going to turn the camera around so you guys can see where we are. So you can see that this road hasn't really been plowed much. There's still a lot of ice and a lot of slush on the road, and there's a lot of ice on the trees, and the power is actually out over here as well from the looks of it. And there's some downed power lines that are on the sides of the road and everything, so you guys want to be really careful and go really slow if you're driving down this street. This is Northeast 102nd Avenue. So like I said, we've seen everything from ice on the roads, slush on the roads, down power lines and power outages. And you can see that there's no lights in those stoplights up there, so lots and lots of troubled areas over here. And our photographer Eric Patterson shot some video on his way into work this morning. This was from Highway 30, and you can just hear how much slush is under that car as he drives, and you can see in this video that a car is stuck on the side of the road, and you can see the driver of that car trying to get out of the snow, but the driver is having a really difficult time doing that. And as we have been driving around the city all morning, we have seen a lot of cars getting stuck on these side roads. They just can't get through the slush. So the cars are just on the side of the road, and our car is swaying back and forth here on Northeast 102nd Avenue due to all the ice. I don't know if you guys can hear that. So if you're coming over here, you definitely want to be careful. You definitely want to take it slow, take all the precautions. And there's actually not a lot of people on the roads today, so it looks like people are kind of heeding the warnings and staying home. back to you guys.
Brian, I'm not going to lie to you. I'm getting car sick watching this report. My stomach's jumping around as you guys are going over all those ruts.
I'm with you. I do get car sickness.
Great.
Well, hey, pull over.
I'm hoping I can, keep...
Take a deep breath. Thank you, Brian Clerkley, in Drive 8 this morning. Again, side streets are a mess. It is still technically the weekend with President's Day being today, so we're telling people, as we have all weekend long, stay home if you can, avoid the roads if you can. We do have an update. Having said that, about I-84, that 45-mile stretch between Troutdale and Hood River is back open this morning. It was closed Friday night, but the fact is the conditions there still aren't great. Cars and trucks that are on 84, they're moving very slow, and some are even stalled. So, again, not great to be out on the roads at all today. If you can avoid it, please do. On the Washington side of the gorge, by the way, SR 14 is completely closed this morning. Highway 18 back here on the Oregon side of things is back open as well today. That highway was closed between Rose Lodge and Grand Ronde over the weekend as ODOT crews had to clear more than 400 downed trees on 18.
A heads up if you live in West Lynn. The city is asking you not to use the water unless it is absolutely necessary. Electricity operates the pump station and the treatment plant, and since the power is out, the water supply is limited this morning. Well, volunteers are making sure that vulnerable people have a warm place to stay. There was a big line outside the Blanchet House in Portland over the weekend. Volunteers there braved the bone-chilling weather to serve meals and hand out clothing. That's John Siebert. He's a volunteer manager. He says there are so many people in need right now.
We're seeing a lot of guests that are coming for our meal services every day. 6 days a week, 3 meals a day, and there's not a day that goes by where we're not seeing a lot of new faces.
Multnomah County has opened 3 severe weather shelters. One is along North Lombard. The other is in a parking garage near the Oregon Convention Center, and the last one is inside the convention center itself.
All right, take a look at this. The weight of snow and ice Saturday collapsed multiple sections of this boat marina in southeast Portland. This is the Waverly Marina in Sellwood. And look at that, the weight of the roof, then pushing dozens of boats to sink now under the water. They're going to have to get cranes to pull all of those out, though. Luckily, no one was hurt. What an expensive insurance nightmare that is. A lot of restaurants also dealt with tent collapses. Look at this. We saw several outdoor dining tents businesses put up to help survive the pandemic, damaged under the weight of all the snow and ice.
It's crazy. It's one thing after another. Boom, boom, boom. But you know, one day at a time, things are going to work out.
Phil Geffner, a friend of the show, he owns Escape from New York Pizza. He was one of the only restaurants on Northwest 23rd that opened this weekend. He's on his bike. Yeah, he's hardcore, man. It is a hard situation, oh my gosh, for restaurants. Valentine's Day was usually one of their busiest nights. They would have been able to reopen for indoor dining since metro areas got the green light on Friday.
Rod, that's a friend of the show there, Phil Geffner. I heard the voice. I'm like, why do I know that voice? Then I'm looking at the face. I'm like, why do I know that face? Oh, that's Escape from New York Phil.
I wasn't watching, but I heard the voice. What do you say again, Drew? Give it to me.
Oh, about the cheese? I mean, about what?
We're going to take
anything?
One day at a time. He was talking really slow this morning. We're going to get through it.
I thought he said something about the only cheese you should put on your pizza is mozzarella.
That's correct. He does have really good pizza, and he's such a joy when we have him in studio. All right, here we go. Winter storm warning out east until 4 o'clock. That's mainly for heavy snow in the mountains. Snow advisories in white. Check this map out. There it is. There it is. Nothing. The ice storm warning has been lifted by the National Weather Service. The moisture is pretty much done. Now, we will see scattered rain showers moving forward today. Temperatures freezing right now, but could be above freezing as soon as 9 this morning. I have Portland at 36 at noon and then 43 for a high. To the gorge, though, not so fast. Winter storm warning up until at least noon. You're getting a mix of freezing rain and snow right now, but even here, the heavier precipitation rates are really starting to break up. So you guys are starting to get through or see the worst of it. You'll see slow warming today. This is always a guess, and my batting average is not good, but I'm saying 34 to 37 in Hood River today. If you get that warm, you could hold above freezing tonight, 34, 35, question mark, and then just rain showers and certainly out of it in 43 tomorrow. For Portland, we're pretty much done. Slow warming after sunrise, as I mentioned. East winds should start to taper off today. We get up to about 43. We stay above freezing tonight. We get up to 48 degrees tomorrow. Here are the temperatures. Still 20s out in the gorge, including the Dows. Good morning to you folks. 22 degrees right now. You can see the 31 out of PDX. And then that different world at the coast, 52 in North Bend, 51 in Eugene. That's, if you want to go to the University of Oregon, now's the time to go. 51 degrees. Goodness gracious. Here's the radar. Again, pretty dry here on the west side. Snow showers out east. And our temperature forecast today, as I mentioned, for the Rose City gets up to 43, 39 tonight, 48 tomorrow, rain showers tomorrow, northwest breeze, Wednesday's dry. I should mention, it's a good time to go to Oregon State, too, because Corvallis is also in the 40s right now. Okay, I'm done.
Well, we're talking about coming out of all this, Rob, but the fact is lots of neighborhoods still dealing with the effects of the winter weather over the weekend. Here's an example in Milwaukee. This is a live look right now, that intersection of Oatfield and Courtney Roads. You can't get by there right now. That big tree covers the road this morning, so be careful if you're in that area this morning. But really, Brenda, this is a story that's impacting so many different neighborhoods throughout the area.
Yeah, 100%. Ice, snow everywhere. Portland crews have been working nonstop to plow and treat the streets. Coming up this morning, we'll talk to PBOT to get an update on those roads.
Closed captioning provided by Precision Garage Door of Portland.
All new Ellen. She's WandaVision's top mind, Kat Dennings. Plus, Ellen's food critic digs in.
What is this? You like it? Oh, no ma'am.
Today at 3 on KGW.
We pledge allegiance to the people of the Pacific Northwest of America and to the things in which they love, like hiking, biking, big hat liking. So ride down that mountain, rent that Rambler, wave to that log, use huge scissors, learn to park that giant new car, and let the good times roll, baby. This is our promise to you. Worry less, live more with Pemco Insurance, defender of your Northwest.
Toyota of Portland, out of downtown and just north of Moda Center. 0 out of pocket, 0 first payment, and 0 stress. $328 per month for the RAV4. $374 for the Venza LE. Buy it your way at Toyota of Portland. 0, 0, 0.
Why am I so calm right now? Because this isn't a spy thriller. This is a Nissan sales event ad. Right on cue. This Rogue has more standard safety technologies than that RAV4. It's almost too easy.
Hurry in for a low $229 per month lease on the 2021 Rogue.
Tick-tock, time's running out.
Mattress World Northwest makes shopping easy with the largest selection of name brand mattresses in the Northwest. Compare the comfort of Stearns & Foster, Beautyrest Black, Sealy Hybrid, and other brands you love. Plus, get the convenience of white glove delivery, setup, and removal of your old mattress. This President's Day, get a free head and foot up adjustable base with the purchase of select mattresses starting at just $6.99. It's not too late to sleep like a baby at Mattress World Northwest.
Buy it your way at Toyota of Portland. A new Toyota for 0 out of pocket, 0 first payment, and 0 stress. $238 per month for the Corolla. $239 per month for the Corolla Hybrid. Safe and comfortable indoor shopping for all your favorite Toyotas at Toyota of Portland.
Welcome back. It is 5:45, still dark out, but you're looking at I-5 there in the distance. ODOT takes care of that, but we want to talk about the city of Portland. Streets around town still slick with snow and slush. We've unfortunately already seen some accidents this morning. PBOT, to say they're in overdrive recently is probably an understatement. They're working to clear the streets. And John Brady is joining me now live on the phone with an update. John, I know we got that freezing rain overnight. How much did that mess with your crews? John, can you hear us? Okay, producer Brian and director Byron, we will move on, see if we can reestablish contact with John Brady and get back to that interview.
All right, let's get on to some more of our news here this morning, and we start with the impeachment trial for former President Donald Trump, which is now over because on Saturday the Senate acquitted the former president on charges that he incited the deadly attack on the U.S. Capitol last month. In total, 7 Republicans voted in favor of conviction, but House managers needed a 2/3 majority to convict. In the last 24 hours of that trial, focus shifted to a Republican representative from our area. We're talking about Jamie Herrera Butler from Southwest Washington, who confirmed again Trump refused House Republican leader Kevin McCarthy's plea to call off the rioters. She says McCarthy relayed details to her of his phone call with Trump back on January 6th. Here's how she told the story during a town hall.
He finally got through to Donald Trump, and he said, you have got to get on TV, you've got to get on Twitter, you've got to call these people off. You know what the president said to him? This is as it's happening. He said, well, Kevin, these aren't my people. You know, these are Antifa. And Kevin responded and said, no, they're your people.
Herrera Butler said Trump told McCarthy the rioters were more upset about the election than he was. The majority of senators wanted her and other witnesses to testify, but knowing it would have drawn out the trial, given the defense's plan to also call witnesses, senators read her statement aloud instead and put it into the record to be considered as evidence.
All right, let's get back to the weather and back to Rod Hill this morning, and low-lying clouds out there over that sky cam this morning.
Yeah, you know what? This is the Wells Fargo camera, which had an icy glaze over it. I think that started on Friday, and now this is the first time I've pulled up the camera and you can actually see. So I'm assuming that's a sign that we are warming outside, right? We have snow and ice down low sitting on the surface this morning. It's still freezing in many locations. 31 degrees out of PDX right now, but we will be warming. Most of the metro temperatures could actually be above freezing as soon as 9 o'clock this morning. They'll continue to rise the rest of the day. So Futurecast, the ice storm warning has expired. We have just rain showers, and notice Coast Range, Cascades. Notice Futurecast takes most of the moisture on the mountains today, so that's signs of kind of a weak shower flow. We'll get some rain shower activity up and down I-5, but rain totals probably pretty light. Now already 6 inches of new snow up in the Cascades. Storm warning continues there, and they could add another 6 easy to that during the day today. All right, forecast temperatures at 4 p.m. this afternoon, 40s at the coast. Could actually be 50 in Salem and Albany and Eugene today. Trying to get up to 43 in Portland, trying to get above freezing out in the Dalles to 35 degrees. And then moving forward, once we warm up today, we're back to normal with rain showers expected at times the rest of the week. And the winter storm is, for Portland, over. Back to you.
Thank goodness. That is great news, Rod. I know City of Portland crews will love to hear that. We have John Brady back this morning. He's with PBOT. John, thank you so much for hanging in with us. You know, sometimes technical problems. I was asking about the freezing rain that fell overnight. How much did that set your crews back?
Yeah, so there are a couple of things with that. We saw a lot of down power lines and down trees that closed roads. So in addition to the icy conditions, there was also that. So the most significant closure there is Skyline, for example, that was from Burnside to Cornell, is closed because of down trees and power lines. So that it complicated the work.
So it is a federal holiday. It's President's Day. A lot of folks don't have to go to work today, which is good. For those who do need to get out, though, other than Skyline, are there trouble spots that they should be aware of?
You know, what I think people need to be aware of, and this is this transition period, so the roads are still, the major roads are clear. The side streets, which we don't plow, are still messy, and our crews are going to be out again mopping things up. So people just need to realize that it's still slow going. It's still slick. They need to give themselves lots of time, avoid travel if they can, or delay it if they can. You know, I think the urge is now, oh, it's over, let's get out there, and this is the time when we need a little bit more patience.
I know you've heard this question before, but maybe you can elaborate for people who don't know. Why don't you plow the side streets in Portland?
Yeah, I know that can be frustrating. It's a couple of reasons. One, it's a capacity reason, so we don't have the number of plows. There's a total of about 4,800 lane miles of streets in Portland. We plow about 1,800 of that. So we would need, more capacity. And then it's also a question just of those streets a lot of those residential streets are narrow. And then if you think of some of the inner inner neighborhoods, how many parked cars there are. It would be a real logistical challenge to be able to get plows down there and plow all those streets.
All right, understood. John Brady, good luck to you and your crews. Thank you for your time this morning.
Thank you.
Well, as you just heard, it is making for a very tough commute for a lot of people. But of course, Portlanders can find a way to have fun with this. I loved seeing this video this weekend. This is an impromptu ski race downtown. We'll take you to the Stumptown Birkebeiner next.
Closed captioning provided by Precision Garage Door of Portland.
Pioneer Cordell Square invites you to buy a brick today to help revitalize the heart of our downtown. Your support will help build a clean, safe, and vibrant downtown for all Portlanders. Buy your personalized brick at thesquarepdx.org.
Clear is a word you hear a lot at Beaverton Toyota. It is their strategy and their promise to you, but what does it mean?
Well, every letter in Clear stands for something, and L is one of our customers' favorites because it stands for lowest price posted on every vehicle, including on BeavertonToyota.com.
So L removes the guesswork.
Exactly. It makes it easier, and our guests love that.
Total transparency and one price. That's always the goal. Experience Clear at Beaverton Toyota.
In these parts, Ford honors the brave ones. Our wagons may have changed, but their spirit lives on. For a limited time, get a new Ford Escape Edge or Explorer with 0 for 60 plus $2,500 bonus cash. Only at your local Northwest Ford dealer.
Cleaning your gutter system is a never-ending project, and overflowing gutters can cause permanent damage to your home. Spring Rock Gutter Guards are the smart solution to gutter maintenance. Our gutter guards are made from an extruded aluminum frame with stainless steel micro mesh and can be installed on your existing gutters. They are designed to keep all debris out of your gutter system forever. We include a full gutter cleaning and tune-up before we install your Spring Rock Gutter Guards. Call today and save 20%.
The beast cometh. For a limited time, get the all-new 2021 Ford F-150 with $8,580 in total value plus $1,000 Ford credit bonus cash.
You guys, we've gotten so many pictures from you showing us what it looks like in your neighborhood. Destiny sent us this one of all the ice on her bird bath, just completely freezing it over. And we got some drone footage sent to us from Nicholas in Canby. Look at this. You can see all the trees weighed down by the ice, and some have even fallen to the road. That drone camera is just amazing. There's a tree down on the street. Just a crazy good vantage point of all of the ice. Send us your photos of what your neighborhood looks like this morning. You can text them to us, 503-226-5088. We'll share as many as we can here on the air.
Hurry in to the Hyundai Big Deal event going on now for savings that are just too big to miss.
Get 0.9% APR for 60 months on the Kona, or get up to $3,000 in total savings. See your Pacific Northwest Hyundai dealer.
Mattress World Northwest makes shopping easy with the largest selection of name brand mattresses in the Northwest. This President's Day, get a free head and foot up adjustable base with the purchase of select mattresses starting at just $6.99. Only at Mattress World Northwest.
It's my 912 no days off migraine medicine. It's Ubrelvy for anytime, anywhere migraine strikes without worrying if it's too late or where I am. One dose can quickly stop migraine in its tracks within 2 hours.
Unlike older medicines, Ubrelvy is a pill that directly blocks CGRP protein, believed to be a cause of migraine. Do not take with strong CYP3A4 inhibitors. Most common side effects were nausea and tiredness.
Ask about Ubrelvy for anytime, anywhere migraine medicine.
Hurry in to the Hyundai Big Deal event going on now for savings that are just too big to miss.
Lease an Ioniq Hybrid for $179 a month, or a Kona Electric for $249 a month. See your Pacific Northwest Hyundai dealer.
They're trailblazers who've broken barriers. This morning, Craig talks to leaders of the nation's first black church.
It is a church as old as the Republic itself. You just didn't know the history of it.
Uncovering the lost secrets of colonial Williamsburg. This morning on Today.
For severe weather alerts, download the KGW app now.
Okay, you guys, look at this. That is the way to get around in the snow, right? Skiers taking over downtown Portland over the weekend for an impromptu race. Here's Brittany Folkers.
We're just trying to have some fun and enjoy winter, like when it happens. The rare occasion.
Welcome to Portland, the hottest ski destination for one weekend only.
One of the most charming parts about the city, right? That we can't handle snow, so let's just go into it. I love it.
Saturday, Northwest streets covered in snow became the site for an impromptu ski race. The Stumptown Birkebeiner, more lovingly known as the Birkies. Pets,
ready to go.
Kiddos, and a Portland pickle?
I was plenty warmed up. Pickles joined us. So I did not expect pickles today, but when in Portland, you never know what you're going to see. So.
This isn't the first time downtown skiers have taken to the streets. The last time we saw the Birkie was 2017.
There's not many years you can wear your old Birkie bibs, and this feels like an appropriate time to come out.
But was wearing that old bib worth skiing sleeveless?
This was a great idea until I stood still for about 20 minutes.
Keeping it weird and taking full advantage of this extended snow day.
Not a bad way to spend a Saturday.
That's a good way to wrap up our 5 o'clock hour of Sunrise. Coming up in our next hour, we're talking about roadways and TriMet. It's all coming up here in 2 minutes.
Optimism to me is a survival skill. It is essential, especially in 2020. There's such a thing as learned optimism. In the same way, there's something called learned helplessness. When we lean into behaviors and practices that build optimism, we are acquiring a life skill that can help us into the future. It goes back to that human spirit. There's something within us that is a light that we can share with others. And as long as we don't lose that, I think anything is possible.
Mattress World Northwest makes shopping easy with the largest selection of name brand mattresses in the Northwest. This President's Day, get a free head and foot up adjustable base with the purchase of select mattresses starting at just $6.99. Only at Mattress World Northwest.
Homeowners experiencing the frustrations of low water pressure in the shower where you can't even wash the shampoo out of your hair, or the dreadful pipe leaks. Time to replace those old corroded pipes with brand new PEX or copper pipes. Repipe specialists will repipe your home in just 1 to 2 days at half the cost of a plumber. Plus, we offer a lifetime guarantee. Call for your free in-home estimate and ask about our 0 down, 0 interest, 0 payments offer. No more leaks and great water pressure.
Experience affordable luxury inside and out at Audi Wilsonville. If you think an Audi is out of reach, look again, because now's the time to upgrade to quality. Indulge in the Audi A3 for only $349 a month. Need more space? Get the Q3 for $409 a month, and Audi will make your first payment. Step up to the Q5 for $459 a month, and Audi will make your first payment. Upgrade to quality. Audi Wilsonville.
In Oregon, flavor is not just about food, but about character, freshness, sustaining this beautiful place, and local families who care about good food and healthy eating. Oregon Dungeness Crab, the flavor of Oregon.
What's your heart's desire? How about winning a brand new Chevy Camaro, Chevy Silverado, or $50,000 in cash? Coyote Club members receive 1 free entry. Earn more playing your favorite games. Come in and win your heart's desire at Spirit Mountain Casino.
This is KGW News at Sunrise.
Now it's 6, snow and ice from the weekend make for a slick Monday commute. This morning we are tracking the major trouble spots on the roads. Plus, downed trees and power lines leave 250,000 people across our area without electricity.
And then we saw 3 transformers below, and it just was boom, boom, boom.
While it'll be restored soon for some, others could be in the dark and cold for more than 10 days.
Oh, that is worst case scenario. We're hoping that doesn't happen. But good morning, everybody. It is President's Day, a federal holiday. If you have the day off, great timing, yeah. Right, Rod? Fill us in on that forecast.
All right, so the headline is the winter storm warning for Portland and Salem and Vancouver. It's over. It's done. The National Weather Service lifted, in fact, the ice storm warning back at around 5 o'clock or 5:30 it was this morning. So it's over. The precipitation is now just scattered showers, and for the most part, scattered rain showers. Now, we're still freezing right now, so if you're out and about, you could feel a little bit of icing in the air. Still snowing out in Pendleton. We have a mix of what is tapering off snow and rain and sleet out in that rain, but sleet and freezing rain and snow in the gorge. So you can see on radar that's breaking up too. So the storm is winding down. We have the freezing numbers, not everywhere, but close. Tigard, Beaverton, Hillsborough 33. There's Gresham at 31. East winds will slowly start to fade away today out near the gorge. And then we have this different warm bubble. There's Corvallis. It's hard to believe. It's 50 in Corvallis. If you could drive your car, which you can't because roads are bad, but if you could get down to Corvallis and watch your thermometer go from 30 to 50 at this hour. That's crazy, right? Portland tries to get to 36 at noon and then 43 at 5 p.m. Guys, back to you.
All right, Rob, thank you. We got some new numbers from PGE today. It's reporting more than 250,000 customers without power. The majority of those are in Clackamas County, and that's where we find KGW's Devin Haskins. He's reporting live for us this morning. Any sign of the thaw there, Devin?
Any sign of the thaw?
Yes, the thaw.
So you said the thaw?
T-H-A-W.
Yeah. Yeah. Sorry. Been up since 2 this morning. You know, looking at the tree branches right now, it looks like they're dripping a little bit, but I mean, still seeing the thick layers of ice. Right now, you see this bunch of the tree branches off to the side of the road. One of the many trees here in Clackamas County that has fallen. Just behind me here, we're on Courtney Avenue, just off Oatfield in Milwaukee. Large taken over the. If you pan over just to the right a little bit, you see that bike lane begin sign. There's a street light up there. That is a power pole snapped in half, leaning against a tree. There's tree lines or power lines down in front of that tree as well. It's just one of the many problems that we've seen. Earlier this morning, we went out on Highway 43 near Palatine Hill Road. The road is closed because of down power lines. It's closed for about a mile heading south in that area to Military. Just one of the many power lines down in Clackamas County like we're showing you right now. We drove also along Oatfield after leaving there. You can see one tree or branch down, one after the other. We saw lines hanging low overhead. It's dark out here, so we may not be getting the full picture until it's completely light out. PGE says there's more than 100,000 people here without power throughout Clackamas County. Heavy ice causing all sorts of problems with trees taking down these limbs. PGE says these power outages could last for days and to be prepared.
I hate to say this, but for some customers, it could be as long as 10 days before we've got everybody back on. That's an extreme situation, but we need people to be prepared for the potential for some extended outages.
Now, one of the other areas that are hardest hit by power outages is in Marion County and Multnomah County, both with about 65,000 residents without power each. Back to you.
Unbelievable. If you're watching us online today because you don't have power in your home and you hear 10 days perhaps without power, I mean, that is a showstopper right there. We hope that is a worst case scenario that none of us actually sees. Let's get to another story that we've been following since last night. The Coast Guard is investigating reports that a car went off the Glen Jackson Bridge on I-205 and into the Columbia River. We know someone called 911 just before 6 o'clock last night. Traffic cameras showed the crews responding to that spot last night. You see the traffic cameras here. So crews searched the water. We know so far, though, they have found nobody. They have found no car. We're going to bring you the latest as soon as we get it. We're still developing the story and finding more information as the morning progresses. We do want to get back out to Brian Clerkley right now, though. Brian's in Drive 8 this morning. Brian, you've been focusing on some of the side streets because highways don't seem to be the issue this morning, but those side streets are in terrible shape.
That's right, and good morning, Drew. The side streets are really hard to get out of. We've seen plenty of cars that were stuck trying to get out, I guess, of the streets that they live on. Lots of side streets that are really hard to get around. And I'm just going to show you guys where we are now. We are on East Burnside, and you can see the piles of snow lining the road. And this street is a little bit plowed from the looks of it. You can kind of get around, but it's still really slippery and really slushy, so you want to drive drive slow. We've seen plenty of stalled MAX trains, so it doesn't look like they're moving or they're going to be in service today. And you can see that there's ice all covering all the trees around here. So you just have to be really, really careful when you're driving on these roads. Like I said, we've seen plenty of stalled cars. We've even seen some down power lines. So you want to be careful. The power is kind of spotty. In some places it's out, and then in some places it's back on again. So one reminder, I-84 is back open through the gorge. It shut down on Friday, but reopened yesterday, and conditions there still don't look great. So you want to be careful. But from the looks of it, a lot of people are being careful this morning. There's not a ton of traffic on these roads. There's not a ton of traffic on East Burnside this morning. So it looks like people are staying home and they are being safe. Like I said, if you're going to come out on the roads, just drive very slowly and very carefully, because your car will probably swerve back and forth because of all the slush and ice under it. So that's just a warning. You just have to be careful when you're coming out this morning.
100%. Thank you, Bryant. It's been, what now, Nina, 3 days since the first round of snow and ice blanketed the metro area, but snow plows and those salt trucks, they can't get to every single street.
Yeah, it's really pretty dangerous for a lot of people. Take a look at this video of people just spinning out and sliding along Holgate and 82nd. PBOT saying they have more than 200 employees, 57 plows, and 7 de-icers working nonstop. Right now, though, they are only focusing on major roads. Think Burnside or Southwest Multnomah Boulevard or Capitol Highway.
Our crews have been working around the clock since Wednesday night. They continue to. We've got more than 100 people on day shift.
Now, the city does have this interactive website where you can follow where crews are working, see if they're in your neighborhood or headed toward there. You can go to our website, KGW.com, to look for that link.
Yeah, they do a good job, but sometimes even the professionals get stuck. Check out this video. That's a plow caught in the snow up on Northwest Skyline Boulevard. Right now, we can tell you that Skyline is shut down from West Burnside to Northwest Cornell. PBOT also tells us there are trees and power lines down, so just avoid the area altogether. And a big thank you this morning to Nicole Stavino for sending us that video.
Well, some roads are still too dicey for TriMet. You know, overnight they suspended service for all buses and MAX lines, and now all buses, including shuttles, will run again this morning, but a little later than usual, and they will have limited service. Crews say each bus will have chains, so that limits them to 25 miles an hour. You can check for the latest updates on your route. Go to trimet.org/alerts.
We're going to hop over to Clark County now. Clark County Public Works closed Southeast 347th between Southwest Lawton Road and Southeast Jennings Road because of bad road conditions there. So we're talking about the Washougal area. That quarter-mile stretch has seen some really windy conditions the past 2 days, which created huge snow drifts. In fact, the snow plows there haven't even been able to get through.
Folks in Marion County may have trouble getting through to 911. Metcom 911 says over the last 24 hours, it's received hundreds of calls and it's having trouble getting to all of them. Spotty cell service could also be to blame. They recommend texting instead of calling. The other thing they really want you to know is don't call 911 or any other non-emergency line to ask about power outages. Reach out specifically to your utility company to find out when the electricity will be back on.
Okay, you know, all morning we've been asking you, send us your pictures. Let us know what it's like in your neighborhood. And Eric, there in Westland, one of the hardest hit areas, sent us this picture. Look at all the branches and the trees down. Drew, I know this is your hood. It's been hit hard.
I believe that's Derby Road right there.
Yeah.
I drove through that mess of trees to get to work this morning.
Yeah, you have to go on like one, you know, around a median kind of. This one taken in Wilsonville. You can see a lot of other trees weighed down by the ice. And another viewer took a pic of their pond in Woodland. You can barely kind of see it under all of that snow, but that's one of the rocks the water falls down over. Show us what it's like in your neck of the woods. Send us a pic, 503-226-5088. I feel like Al Roker in your neck of the woods. That's his tagline, right, Rod?
That's correct, yeah. So from my neck of the woods, this is my backyard. This is Grandma Kim. Grandma Kim is, I should know this, I think 82. And there's our daughter, Natasha. So they built a snowman over the weekend. And I wish we had a video because Grandma Kim also jumped on the sled and went down the hill with Natasha over the weekend. And so did Grandpa Kim, for that matter. Anyway, it was a lot of fun. We did not have any really bad icing that I know of up in Hazeldale, the area of my Clark County. But as we just saw, especially down around West Lynn, the icing really bad. Here's the remaining storm warning map. No watches, warnings, nothing. We're done with the winter storm here on the west side. And purple winter storm warning still up in some cases until 4 o'clock tomorrow out over the Blue Mountains. We still have the storm warning until noon in the Gorge and also up over the Cascades. But in the Gorge, precip is starting to break up. Still a mixture of what is now becoming scattered light, freezing rain and snow out there. Looking for afternoon warming, 34 to 37 degrees, if we make it 34 to 35. You know, if you have lived here a while, that often these calls for warming in the Gorge don't come true. So this is not a guarantee, but we'll see if it happens. And then tomorrow, we feel like the Gorge storm is definitely over, and about 43 with warming expected. Portland 31 right now. We're trying to get to 36 at noon and 43 at 5 p.m. Any shower activity in the next hour or two. Could still be a little bit of light freezing rain, but generally we'll see rain showers with the warming temps during the day. We have the warm zone to our south. Eugene's at 51. So this shows you, this is the natural air mass, 51 degrees. If it weren't for the east winds coming out of the Gorge, we would all be 45 to around 50 degrees. So that really illustrates the uniqueness of what the Columbia River Gorge does in terms of flooding our area with the cold temperatures. My map should be going to the 7 days. Is that going to go? Ah, here it comes. All right. Tomorrow, 48 rain showers, dry Wednesday, rain at times Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Be safe out there. It's going to be a mess until we get all this melted away, right?
Well, Rob, when you paint the picture looking ahead, it looks pretty good. But right now, people are still dealing with a mess in so many spots around the area. Ice on the roads, trees down, power lines down. This is I-84 at Halsey, and you can see just how slick the conditions are right now. This is live on President's Day Monday. We're coming back with more Sunrise. In fact, we're going to check in with ODOT to get the latest on road conditions throughout the area. A live report from ODOT next.
Oregon Dungeness crab, the flavor of Oregon.
Both Pfizer and Moderna developed their coronavirus vaccines using mRNA. But what's that mean? And why is it so groundbreaking? Most vaccines put a weakened or inactivated germ into your body, and that germ triggers an immune response. It teaches the body how to fight back if it ever encounters the actual full-strength germ or virus in real life. But that is not how mRNA vaccines work. Instead, mRNA teaches your body how to fight back without ever exposing it to the actual virus.
Your favorite Tuesday tradition continues with Buy Mart's Lucky Number Tuesday. With 6 items available to win or buy and many winners at every store, you won't want to miss out. This week, win a Samsung Galaxy Tab 8A or buy it for $20 off for a Tuesday-only price of $119.88. Plus, thousands more will win a red chocolate bar just by matching their ending number. So be sure to stop in this Tuesday to see if you're a winner. It's Lucky Number Tuesday, only at Buy Mart.
Attractive offers on the ultra-responsive Acura TLX. Visit your Acura dealer today.
Did you know air quality and comfort inside your home depend a lot on what's under your home? It's true. That's why Terra Firma specializes in keeping both crawl spaces and basements clean and dry. We can help stop wood rot, prevent musty air, cut allergy-causing mold, and eliminate moisture. We stop problems at the source so you can breathe easier in a safer and more comfortable home. So if your house has a dirt crawl space or a damp basement, call Terra Firma today for a free evaluation to keep your home dry and comfortable.
Ants getting too comfortable? Call the Killers, your local pest pros. Thorough, on time, effective. The Killers get the job done right.
Experience affordable luxury inside and out at Audi Wilsonville. If you think an Audi is out of reach, look again, because now's the time to upgrade to quality. Indulge in the Audi A3 for only $349 a month. Need more space? Get the Q3 for $409 a month, and Audi will make your first payment. Step up to the Q5 for $459 a month, and Audi will make your first payment. Upgrade to quality. Audi Wilsonville.
attractive offers on the ultra-responsive Acura TLX. Visit your Acura dealer today.
Hey, welcome back, guys. So it is a treacherous drive if you're just waking up this morning. We got more freezing rain overnight. We are done with that, though, for the day, but the roads super icy this morning. We want to get you the latest on that with ODOT's Don Hamilton joining us live this morning with an update on the conditions. So, Don, thank you for joining us this morning. On our drive in, there were trees down on 84 near Lloyd Center. It looked like it has caused a car crash and then a car fire, but that is something a lot of people are really watching for. Are there any closures or caution areas that people need to watch out for right now?
Yeah, a whole bunch of them. I mean, I think the thing to recognize is that things are changing as conditions develop this morning. We're getting more trees coming down here and there, more power lines coming down. We're having to work with the power crews to make sure everything can clear up, and then we can get the trees off the road. Certainly the one good news is that the gorge is open. Interstate 84 is open in the gorge, but we're seeing some continued closures on 99E and on Oregon 22, continued closures there.
Okay, you mentioned the gorge. I was going to ask you about that next. I know you guys have been working just round the clock, tirelessly trying to clear some of these roads. I think a lot of people, expect maybe they've moved here from elsewhere and they expect, bare pavement on a lot of these sections. And the plows really aren't designed to, scrape down to the roadway. We're seeing a live picture from one of our vehicles there on the east side, and it's got the 2 lanes for the tires. What can people kind of expect once they see a plow go through? What are the conditions like under that?
Well, we're going to do the best we can with that, and it depends on the variety of tools that we use. Sometimes salt can help you get to that point, and certainly plows and sand and the de-icer, all of those things can develop. As far as what to expect, we're going to do the best we can to make sure that the road is safe. And sometimes that'll bring you to bare pavement, sometimes not.
Now, when you guys are out and about and your crews are out there, they're dealing with ice and snow. What happens when they come up upon a down tree or a power line? I mean, do you guys just have to call the power company and then move on to a different area?
Well, we really can't do anything until we know that till the power is safe, till the crews are safe. If we run into a tree with wires in there across the road, we're going to get the power companies there, and we'll move on then to a place where we can have some good effect on the roads. That's what we're trying to do, and our crews are out there working hard on that right now. But we work in conjunction with the power companies and with police to make sure that these roads can get clear. And that makes sure that we don't want anybody to get hurt. That makes sure the power is clear.
Yeah, no kidding. There's so many trees down there to watch for. All right, Don Hamilton, thank you so much for jumping on the line with us this morning, and we'll check back with you later.
Thank you.
All right, before we get to Rod's forecast, we do want to get to 3 things to know this morning about the COVID vaccine. Number 1, the mass vaccination site at the Oregon Convention Center is back open today after weather forced it to close over the weekend. Here's the deal, though. It's not going to open until 9 o'clock this morning, so anyone who had an earlier appointment today, you'll be rescheduled later in the day. Number 2, around 133,000 more seniors are eligible for the vaccine in Oregon today. Anyone 75 and older can now book an appointment. Last week, the 80 and over group became eligible, so now it's 75 plus. And for number 3 this morning, we have a how-to when it comes to booking your appointment. Another round of slots opens up today at 9 a.m., so you can book an appointment by going to covidvaccine.oregon.gov and clicking on the Let's Get Started box. You'll have to go through a chat box and answer some questions there about eligibility. Your other option is to call 211 and ask to be transferred to the reservation center. And those are 3 things to know about the COVID vaccine this morning.
Okay, it is 6:20. Rod, for most places, the thaw is starting, but we know that transition just messy.
Yeah, I mean, remember, we have anywhere from 10 to 12 to 14 inches of snow on the ground across many areas, especially the North Valley, Portland Metro, up into Clark County. So today, I would say in some neighborhoods, it's probably going to be the absolute most difficult driving because your tires are going to hit that softening snow and slush and just spin it and go nowhere, right? So, we're not out of the woods. In terms of active weather, that part of our story is done. All storm warnings canceled for the I-5 corridor. And look at the temperature forecast today. Longview, Battleground, Vancouver, all expected to jump at least to 40 degrees with scattered rain showers moving forward. Those east winds will be calming during the day as well. Temperatures even warmer in Salem and Corvallis, where it could hit 50. So this is a rapid warm-up for parts of the Willamette Valley. Here's the bigger map. Storm warnings until at least noon out in the gorge. Here we're trying to get just above freezing. This shows the Dow's at 35 and valley temps in the 30s, but above freezing across eastern Oregon today. Portland 43 today, 39 tonight. Rain showers continue tomorrow. Scattered stuff, 48 degrees. A completely dry Wednesday expected. Now it's time to celebrate some birthdays. All right, and we begin with who's two? The answer is Frank. Frank is 2 years old today. Happy birthday. Tanner is 12 in Milwaukee. Happy birthday to you. Looks like a recent pick out in the snow. Andrew, 14 in Sherwood. Happy birthday. Cool looking guy there with the glasses. Sloan is 30. Pretty young lady. Happy birthday. Derek, 31. Happy birthday to you, sir. Mika is 31 years old as well. Happy birthday. Pretty lady. Michael, 32. Harvard. Smart guy. And Chris is 43 in Gresham. Love the glasses. Happy birthday to you. Birthday-pics at KGW.com, and we will celebrate with you.
Have an open mind and listen. Don't come in with any preconceived notions.
Everybody is so polarized and divided. Arguing's not going to work.
Be kind to one another. We raise our child up to be kind to other kids. So why can't we take the advice that we give our children?
I think we can move forward, try to be patient with each other, patient with ourselves.
It starts with self-respect. To be able to respect someone else, you got to be able to look in the mirror and like what you see and be able to see the beauty in somebody else.
Toyota of Portland, out of downtown and just north of Moda Center. 0 out of pocket, 0 first payment, and 0 stress. $399 per month for the 4Runner. $539 per month for the Highland Hybrid. Safe and comfortable indoor shopping for all your favorite Toyotas at Toyota of Portland.
The garage door is America's new front door, so why not look at it in a whole new way?
Let us show you the difference that a brand new Precision garage door can make.
Precision Door Service, a name you can trust.
I have the power to lower my blood sugar and A1C.
Because I can still make my own insulin, and Trulicity activates my body to release it, like it's supposed to.
Trulicity is for type 2 diabetes. It's not insulin, and I only need to take it once a week. Plus, it lowers the risk of cardiovascular events.
Trulicity isn't for people with type 1 diabetes or diabetic ketoacidosis. Don't take Trulicity if you're allergic to it, you or your family have medullary thyroid cancer, or have multiple endocrine neoplasia syndrome type 2. Stop Trulicity and call your doctor right away if you have an allergic reaction, a lump or swelling in your neck, severe stomach pain, changes in vision, or diabetic retinopathy. Serious side effects may include pancreatitis. Taking Trulicity with sulfonylurea or insulin raises low blood sugar risk. Side effects include nausea, diarrhea, vomiting, belly pain, and decreased appetite, which lead to dehydration and may worsen kidney problems.
I have it within me to lower my A1C.
Ask your doctor about Trulicity.
Experience affordable luxury inside and out at Audi Wilsonville. If you think an Audi is out of reach, look again, because now's the time to upgrade to quality. Indulge in the Audi A3 for only $349 a month. Need more space? Get the Q3 for $409 a month, and Audi will make your first payment. Step up to the Q5 for $459 a month, and Audi will make your first payment. Upgrade to quality. Audi Wilsonville.
What a great place to work and play. Spirit Mountain Casino. We offer the area's most generous benefits package along with an opportunity for growth. Food and beverage areas are looking for you. Go to spiritmountain.com and join our team today.
Toyota of Portland, out of downtown and just north of Moda Center. 0 out of pocket, 0 first payment, and 0 stress. $339 per month for the Prius LE. $345 per month for the Prius XLE. Buy it your way at Toyota of Portland. 0, 0, 0.
So it's not just us. Look at this morning in Houston, Texas. There's a live picture there. Much of central and west Texas just getting hammered with snow over the last few days. You know, typically temperatures there are a bit warmer right now, but they are in the single digits and have been all weekend. But it's not all bad. People in Texas still love their snowball fights, and they were enjoying it around Dallas. They are expecting anywhere from 4 to 6 more inches to fall tonight into tomorrow morning. Well, we were warned it could happen, but it does look like the pandemic has killed snow days for a lot of kids. But with power outs for so many people here, even online learning will be canceled likely tomorrow. Let's connect the dots.
Shutting down schools for winter weather was once a time-honored tradition, but those days appear to be over. Now when the bad weather hits, schools are simply transitioning to all virtual learning. There have been some notable exceptions, though. A few principals nationwide have declared snow days so kids could go sledding or have snowball fights. But for the most part, they're being told to fire up Zoom and get back to work. The change is not because school superintendents hate fun. Many are already struggling with a deficit of school days. Many districts got a late start this year because they were figuring out how to make all this work. Taking more days off because of bad weather could force some districts to delay the start of summer vacation. Educators are also concerned that kids have already fallen behind this year. According to studies, students are months behind, with disadvantaged kids being hurt the worst. By keeping the learning going, even virtually, educators don't risk even more disruption. Maybe one day they will learn about waking up early to watch the school closing crawl by on the TV in the history books. And that's Connecting the Dots.
And that wraps up our 6 o'clock half hour here on Sunrise. We are getting ready for the 6:30 half hour, including this story about people who have had to deal with the blast of winter without a home, and the volunteers who made sure this weekend they had meals and they had some clothes.
Winter. Our new 2021 Toyota lineup is hotter than ever. Toyota, let's go places.
It's news when you want it, and it's on Instagram and Facebook. It's what's happening today with a look at your local headlines and weather. Weigh in, ask us questions, and vote. So we want to know, do you have your earthquake kit? Follow KGW on Instagram and Facebook.
Ask anyone who has been in an accident. What comes next can be just as bad as the accident itself. Getting yourself home, calling up your insurance company, negotiating a shop to take it to, making sure the shop uses factory parts, having a friend drive an appointment with the shop, having to make another finally dropping off your waiting to hear back from your insurance, taking your car back with the things they didn't fix, or you can just take it to Leif's. Call me, we'll pick you up, negotiate with the insurance company on your behalf, keep you informed, and drop it off when we're done, anywhere in the Northwest.
Kaiser has the total picture in mind when they're taking care of their patients. The pandemic hit early in 2020, and we were in a good position to continue offering our patients virtual cardiac rehab. Very important to patients who have had a cardiac event. Kaiser is still doing all the same excellent care we've always done. We were able to make a few minor adjustments and continue to offer this high-quality, important service to our patients and for them to do well.
Discount Windows is the best window and door store in Oregon. Reason number 3.
Discount Windows Vinyl 99 sale. Factory first overstock windows for just $99 each.
Or less. Discount Windows has the largest selection of premium overstock windows in the Pacific Northwest.
With prices this low, I can't take it. So hurry in.
Discount Windows. We do windows
and doors
for less.
It's time for a new shower, but you don't want the hassle. You just want it done. Rebath, from start to stunning. Call us or visit rebath.com and save $750 off your tub or shower replacement.
Experience affordable luxury inside and out at Audi Wilsonville. If you think an Audi is out of reach, look again, because now's the time to upgrade to quality. Indulge in the Audi A3 for only $349 a month. Need more space? Get the Q3 for $409 a month, and Audi will make your first payment. Step up to the Q5 for $459 a month, and Audi will make your first payment. Upgrade to quality. Audi Wilsonville.
It's time for a new shower, but you don't want the hassle. You just want it done. Rebath, from start to stunning. Call us or visit rebath.com and save $750 off your tub or shower replacement.
This is KGW News at Sunrise.
Coming up this half hour on Sunrise, we're going to take you back out live to Clackamas County. This is Milwaukee. You see that tree down there in the middle of the road, and this is a neighborhood that's dealing with down power lines, down trees, no electricity, and so many other communities are dealing with the same thing. We're hearing from PGE officials this morning. They say worst case scenario, it could be 10 days before some of the lights go back on in those neighborhoods. We're also looking back at the videos and the pictures we received over the weekend. This one from a viewer named Lainey Strauss, who sent us this from the Pearl District, and she had those views of transformers blowing in the distance. Those sounds just really scary all weekend long. Transformers popping, trees cracking. Again, a lot of effort being made right now to try to fix those neighborhoods and get power restored.
Yeah, the power lines, the downed trees, what a headache for crews out there trying to keep the roads clear in Portland. Coming up this morning on Sunrise, we talked to PBOT about the problem spots they're focusing on right now.
And a reminder, if you are just waking up, it is President's Day, so if you don't have to go out, the kids are already out of school, just stay home. Keep warm. Okay, let's get the latest from Rod on our forecast, because we're done with kind of the freezing rain and precipitation.
Well, we're done with the entire winter storm. In terms of the active weather producing a winter storm that started last Thursday night, that is finished. The ice storm warning expired around 5:30 this morning. With National Weather Service, I talked with them earlier today, and they tell me that they have reports of a half of an inch to even slightly more than that of ice accumulation just from last night in East Multnomah County and down into parts of Clackamas County on the east side. Icing was closer to maybe a quarter of an inch of depth of ice here in Portland, and it looks like maybe just a touch of ice accumulation out in Washington County from last night. So the active storm warnings, nothing here on the west side. We're done. We will be warming up today. We still have winter storms out east that don't expire until tomorrow afternoon across the Blues. We have this winter storm warning in the Gorge that right now is set to expire at noon, and the precipitation is starting to break up and taper off in the Columbia River Gorge this morning. On the radar, you see some snow out in Pendleton. Not much in the Gorge. This is mostly rain shower activity until you get up above 3,000 to 4,000 feet where it's snow up in the mountains. But right now, dry in Portland and Salem. We're at 31, still very icy on the ground, right? Rain showers scattered about, not much, but some today, 36 at noon, 43 at 5 p.m., guys.
We'll check in with you soon, Rod. Thank you. So one of the biggest things we are tracking this morning is just the sheer number of power outages. There are hundreds of thousands of people waiting in the cold and dark. This is the map right now from Portland General Electric, where about 250,000 people are without power right now this morning. Half of those are just in Clackamas County. Now we're going to switch tabs and change over to Pacific Power, which has a lot of people in the Marion County area, especially without power. Those folks expected to get it restored by this afternoon. You see all those red dots down there to the south. But if we scroll up in the Portland area, there is a new widespread power outage for Pacific Power customers. And when you zoom in there, it is primarily in Northeast Portland where that Pacific Power pocket is. 27,000 folks in the Hollywood, Irvington, and Lloyd district areas. We don't know when your power will be restored.
I'm a father of 4. I have 4 kids I have to be responsible for. If my power doesn't come back on and now I can't get out either, there's no one doing Uber right now. There's no one doing Lyft. There's no one coming out right now to help us.
Yeah, a lot of people feeling really stranded and kind of scared, actually. The Smith family not only lost power, but look at that. Their carport collapsed under the weight of snow and ice, and it crushed both of their family cars. Just like their power, they don't know when all this damage is going to be fixed.
Well, on some roads, you really do see tree after fallen tree. Arborists tell us they have been absolutely inundated with calls. We talked to one at the Davey Tree Expert Company. He says as things thaw, they'll get those crews out there today.
Just be patient with the tree crews. We are definitely trying, and we're going to work and do everything we can to get everyone back into their homes and get these problems solved with. And so we appreciate that understanding.
Governor Kate Brown declared a state of emergency in 9 counties on Saturday. That makes extra resources available to restore power and help with the cleanup. Those counties are Benton, Clackamas, Hood River, Lynn, Marion, Multnomah, Polk, Washington, and Yamhill.
Well, Bryant Clerkley has been driving all around the area in Drive 8 this morning. Bryant, give us an update on where you are now, because to this point you've shown us a lot of streets throughout the city that are in just really bad shape this morning.
That's right, we are in the Gresham area, right on Northeast Division Street, right across from Gresham High School. And let me show you guys what we're looking at right now. So yes, this is Northeast Division Street, and there is a TriMet bus right there, and it looks like some of the crew, they're trying to shovel this TriMet bus out of the snow. The bus appears to be stuck in that thick snow that you guys can see off to the right side right here. So yeah, you can see crews right now are trying to dig that TriMet bus out of the snow, and this is right across from Gresham High School. So if you're on Northeast Division Street, you want to go really slow. There's a lot of slush. It is partly plowed, but there's still a lot of slush and ice on the ground, so you might be moving around a little bit. Now the ride out here, we were over in downtown in the Lloyd Center area before this, and there was some power out there. We've seen trees down, we've seen ice on trees. There's ice on trees here on Northeast Division Street. So there's just a lot of issues this morning, but most people are driving safely. Most people are driving really slowly. We have seen some people trying to get out of their neighborhoods on these side streets and getting stuck because of all the snow buildup. So their cars are just kind of sitting there. So yeah, we've seen a lot of stuff this morning, but it seems like people are remaining safe. Now I just want to show you guys some video that our photographer Eric Patterson shot on his way into work this morning. This was over on Highway 30, and you can hear the slush under his car. You can hear just how much slush is under there. And in the video, you can see a car stuck on the side of the road, and you can see the driver of that car trying to get out of the snow, but the driver is having a rough time doing that. And we have seen plenty of cars this morning that have been stuck in sort of that same situation, just not being able to get out of the snow. So hey, if you're leaving your house this morning and you're coming on some of these side streets, just know it could be pretty hard to get through that thick snow. So just a warning there. Back to you guys.
All right, Brian Clerkley out and about in Gresham right now. He's been traveling all around the area for us this morning. This is a look at our Rose City Skycam, and this sets up our next live interview. This one with the Portland Bureau of Transportation. We have PBOT's John Brady on the phone. So John, Rod Hill just told us a moment ago that as far as the active weather goes, we've made it through. It is over as of this morning, but the last round of that weather happened overnight in the form of freezing rain in many spots of the city. So what did that freezing rain bring to the roads, and what are your crews dealing with this morning?
Right. So they are dealing with now the snow that's turning into slush. What they'll be doing is they'll be working on those roads where we plowed but that were snow covered. That's turning into slush. They've got to get that off the road, deal with some of those berms, as your reporter said. The other thing is we're dealing, those downed trees and power lines also affect our work. So the latest is that West Burnside from Skyline to Titchener is closed because of downed trees. So we're expecting that we'll see more of that throughout the day.
You know, John, I ended up behind one of your plows there in Northeast Portland this morning. I drove through parts of Northeast Portland. Here we are down in the Goose Hollow area of Southwest Portland near downtown. Every street that I've run into in the city in really bad shape this morning. So I'm just curious, did you use salt this weekend? Where did you use salt? You know, what was done to try to keep the streets clean? Because I know a lot of the efforts were just didn't work this weekend, to put it quite bluntly.
Right. So we did use salt. We used salt on our. We salt about 100 miles of streets, and then we use it in other hot spots. We plow a total of 1,800 miles of streets. So the salted routes our crews were reporting were down to bare pavement. Those other routes were snow covered. That's true, but and it was at times slow going, but passable. And now it's just a matter of mopping up and getting what will turn to slush out of the way.
I think it's fair to expect side streets to be in bad shape, but are there like larger areas, larger roads, major thoroughfares, if you will, that are in bad shape too that people should know about?
At the moment, no. Like I said, the only major closure at the moment is Burnside, and then also Skyline is closed for down trees as well. There are some smaller side streets in steeper areas that are closed, but it's really Burnside and Skyline that are the major thoroughfares that are closed at the moment.
That's PBOT's John Brady joining us live here this morning. Thank you, John, for getting on the phone earlier with us, giving us an update on city streets. Of course, one of the biggest closures during this winter weather we've been witnessing, that 45-mile stretch of I-84 that was closed between Troutdale and Hood River in both directions over the weekend. Well, it is back open this morning. It was closed starting Friday night. But the conditions, even though it's back open, the conditions still aren't good. Cars and trucks still moving slowly. Some are even stalled there along I-84. On the Washington side of the gorge, SR 14 is still closed this morning. Another spot we want to check into is Highway 18 back here on the Oregon side of things. Highway 18 was closed between Rose Lodge and Grand Ronde over the weekend. It is back open this morning as well. Not after, though, or not before, though, I should say, crews had to clear more than 400 downed trees there along Highway 18.
Well, a heads up if you live in West Lynn. The city is asking you not to use the water unless it's absolutely necessary. Electricity operates the pump station and the treatment plant, and since the power is out, that water supply is limited this morning. Well, volunteers are making sure that vulnerable people have a warm place to stay. There was a big line outside Bland Shea House in Portland over the weekend. Volunteers there braved the bone-chilling weather to serve meals and hand out clothing. That's John Siebert. He's a volunteer manager. He says there are so many people who need help right now.
We're seeing a lot of guests that are coming for our meal services every day. 6 days a week, 3 meals a day, and there's not a day that goes by where we're not seeing a lot of new faces.
Multnomah County has opened 3 severe weather shelters. One is along North Lombard. The other is in a parking garage near the Oregon Convention Center, and the last one is inside the convention center itself.
All right, we've seen a lot of the damage, but this is a big one. It's going to cost a lot of money. The weight of snow and ice Saturday collapsed multiple sections of a boat marina in southeast Portland. This is the Waverly Marina in Selwood, right there on the Willamette, and the weight of the roof has then been pushing dozens of boats down underneath the water. They're sinking. They're going to need cranes to get those out of there. No one, though, was hurt. And restaurants dealing with another blow. Collapses of their outdoor tents under the weight of the snow. They were, of course, put up to help survive the pandemic and just are totally damaged. And that's going to cost thousands, too.
It's crazy. It's one thing after another. Boom, boom, boom. But you know, one day at a time, things are going to work out.
Oh, man, that's Phil Geffner. Look at him riding his bike in the snow. He's a good friend of the show. He owns Escape from New York Pizza. He was one of the only spots on Northwest 23rd that was opened this weekend, selling slices. It's a hard situation for a lot of restaurants. You know, Valentine's Day is a huge weekend for them, usually one of their busiest nights. They would have been able to reopen for indoor dining, too, since the metro area got the green light on Friday.
Thinking about all those restaurants, Rod, and thinking about all of our viewers who are dealing with the trees in the yard this morning, no electricity. So the news is not great, but your forecast, at least, is improving here as we move forward.
Yeah, today is that classic day where this really moving forward becomes a big news story as we continue to report on the difficulties a lot of you will be dealing with in the days ahead. And the weather department, our part of the story, pretty much done. The winter storm warnings, all the watches, advisories west of the Cascades have been lifted, and we will be warming above freezing today. It all started Thursday night, and since that time, PDX puts 9.6 inches of snow in the record books. About 8 of that came, of course, with the big storm front Friday night. It was that Friday night storm front, remember, that produced ice accumulations widespread across especially Marion County of a solid inch on trees and power lines. In many cases, we had reports of more than an inch of ice accumulation. And then the ice storm that we expected last night here in the Portland metro area up into Clark County, the worst of it was east of 205, where the National Weather Service says this morning a half of an inch, in some cases even 3/4 of an inch of ice accumulation. It was only light icing, as far as I know, out in Washington County, Hillsborough, and Beaverton, and ice didn't seem to be that bad up in Clark County, as far as I know, either from last night. Anyway, we are finished with the winter weather here on the west side. We do have storm warnings out east over the Blue Mountains and other areas. Storm warnings until 4 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. The storm warning in the gorge right now is set to expire at noon, and precipitation has really tapered off and is starting to wind down there too. In the gorge, Warming temps today, we hope 34 to 37 degrees in Hood River specifically. If we get above freezing, you could actually hold there tonight and then warm into the 40s tomorrow. Portland, again, we are looking at temperatures, rain showers today, warming to about 43 degrees, and then we'll stay above freezing tonight with 48 tomorrow. Dry Wednesday, rain at times Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday as we quickly get back to normal weather-wise. Back to you.
Thank goodness. All right, thanks, Rod. Well, right now, more than 200,000 people are in the dark. Coming up next on Sunrise, we're talking with PGE to get an update on restoring power.
Stay prepared for severe weather alerts. Download the KGW app now.
Turn your email into a $1,000 shopping spree at buymart.com.
Brave Oregon grocery store workers are nowhere near the top of the list to get the vaccine. Meanwhile, in Washington, workers there are not only getting their doses, but they're getting paid bonuses to do so. A look at why some of Oregon's essential workers feel left behind by the state. Tonight at 6.
If you're driven by an adventurous heart, you're in luck. The 2021 Subaru Outback shares your spirit. With standard symmetrical all-wheel drive plus up to 33 miles per gallon, an available 260 horsepower turbocharged engine, advanced technology, and an available extra-large touchscreen. The best Outback ever. The 2021 Subaru Outback. Go where love takes you.
Right now, get 0% APR financing for 63 months on the 2021 Subaru Outback.
What's your heart's desire? How about winning a brand new Chevy Camaro, Chevy Silverado, or $50,000 in cash? Coyote Club members receive 1 free entry. Earn more playing your favorite games. Come in and win your heart's desire at Spirit Mountain Casino.
Providence Wellness Watch from Providence Heart Institute on care for heart failure.
There are more treatments for heart failure now than we've ever had before. Heart failure refers to a condition where the heart isn't able to effectively pump blood to the body. The Providence Heart Transplant Program represents one treatment option that we have for patients with heart failure. Someone might require a heart transplant if they have had progressive symptoms and worsening heart function despite all of the standard therapies. It really is the most amazing gift that we can give through the generosity and love of the donor families. We are striving to deliver the best care for heart failure patients, including heart transplant, that we can. Anything we can do to help people have a better quality of life, we want to do.
Learn more about the Providence Heart Failure Program and heart transplants at providenceoregon.org/heartfailure.
Experience affordable luxury inside and out at Audi Wilsonville. If you think an Audi is out of reach, look again, because now's the time to upgrade to quality. Indulge in the Audi A3 for only $349 a month. Need more space? Get the Q3 for $409 a month, and Audi will make your first payment. Step up to the Q5 for $459 a month, and Audi will make your first payment. Upgrade to quality. Audi Wilsonville.
Are you seeing signs of basement, crawl space, or foundation problems like moisture, cracks, or settling? They won't go away on their own, and little problems just get bigger. One call can be the answer. Terra Firma fixes everything under your home. Don't waste another day worrying. Call Terra Firma.
Welcome back this morning. That is a live look outside. Starting to get a little bit lighter. What you can't see is all the snow and the ice on the ground. There are just like 100,000 people plus without any electricity this morning. It's a big job. The freezing rain overnight didn't help, but that's scoured out right now. Still, transitions can be a little tricky. Joining us live on the phone from PGE with an update is Elizabeth Latanner. I'm sorry, she's Zoom. We spoke with you last time it was on the phone. It's good to see your face. I know you're super busy these days. Can you give us an update, Elizabeth, about how many people are actually without power this morning?
Happy to. Thanks for having me. So we have about 275,000 customers without power right now, and that's reflective of kind of the 3 waves of ice, wind, and snow we've seen, with some customers experiencing multiple outages.
So can you talk about the logistics of getting power back on? It's not just as simple as flipping a switch. There's got to be, you know, the lines cleared, also rebuilding. What all goes into that?
So if you think about how your power gets from the generating station to your house, there are multiple steps, and we're trying to put those puzzle pieces together. From the generating station, we have transmission lines that carry power to what we call substations. We have more than 200 miles of transmission lines that need to be repaired. 7 substations and over 100 feeders that then feed that electricity to the wires you see that take it to your home, and more than 4,400 downed wires.
Jeez.
So we need to put all those puzzle pieces together, which is a really extensive process, and we recognize how frustrating and challenging this is for customers.
All right, and as of yet, it's just impossible to put a timeline right on when power may be restored to everybody?
We're working as quickly as safety allows. We have crews coming in from as far away as Montana and Nevada to help us out. It's all hands on deck, and we're working just as quickly as we can to get customers restored. We recognize what a challenging and scary time it is.
Yeah, no doubt. Elizabeth Latanner with PGE, thank you so much for your time this morning.
Thank you.
All right, let's get to the Weather Center once again with Rod Hill, and we're so glad to hear that this is over, but yeah, we have a long way to go to clean up.
Yeah, we do. The winter storm warning watches, all of that west of the Cascades, including the I-5 corridor, done. The storm is over for us. And by the way, we talked earlier in the show real quick about how cold it was down in Texas. Dallas-Fort Worth at 4 degrees right now. It's 16 below in Denver, actual air temperature. Look at that cold V that goes all the way down to the Gulf Coast. So again, it's the east winds out of the gorge that pull off of that produced all this mess going back to Thursday night when it first started. Now, today's the day that the storm is over and temperatures will start to warm. This shows Salem and Corvallis at 50 degrees. I think it was 50 in Eugene yesterday. So different world down the mid and south valley. In Portland, Vancouver, more like 43 for a high and about 44 up in Longview. Those east winds still blowing out near the gorge should be slowly tapering off during the day today. So here you have generally 40s west of the Cascades for highs, above freezing, but in the 30s in most of the valleys across the east. The Dalles and the Hood River trying to get at least above freezing today. Again, that gorge storm warning ending at noon as of right now. Portland 43, we stay above freezing tonight. Basically, we'll get above freezing, I think, by mid-morning today, guys. And then after that, it's just rain showers in the forecast for the Rose City.
COVID-19 variants. Stay connected. FM News 101, KXL.
0% on this HRV. And this one. 0% on this Pilot. And that Pilot. 0% on this CRV. That one too. 0% on the Passport. 0% on the Ridgeline. Act fast to take home a versatile and rugged Honda during the final days of the Honda 0% event. Well-qualified buyers can get a great deal, like 0% APR financing on the purchase of select Honda models.
Toyota of Portland, out of downtown and just north of Moda Center. 0 out of pocket, 0 first payment, and 0 stress. $328 per month for the RAV4. $374 for the Venza LE. Buy it your way at Toyota of Portland. 0, 0, 0. Are you looking for a career in a dental or medical clinic? Having served Oregon and Washington for 35 years, we can find that position for you. Best of all, there's no placement fee to you, the applicant. We're a licensed employment agency specializing in filling positions for hygienists, dental assistants, dental front office, dentists, and medical professionals. Dental and medical staffing can also help your office find the perfect candidate. Call us today at 503-618-TEMP.
Introducing Gresham Subaru Fast Pass. Buy or lease entirely online, including your trade-in and delivery. It's easy. Just go to GreshamSubaru.com, pick the vehicle you want, and click the Fast Pass button. Next, customize